you update us on Darnell Dodson and his status?
He's in summer school. He's got work to do. He's got work to do to get himself right.
There had been talk of a potential transfer, maybe an addition, a roster addition. Can you update us on that?
We have 10 guys on scholarship. So if there's something out there that is a player that's good for us, we'd consider. But we're just right now kind of marching along in the summer and seeing how things play out.
So there's nothing imminent. There's nothing imminent.
No, there's some people out there that have contacted us, and there's some people out there that are saying, hey, the thing, even that being the case, you have to tell all these kids, if you think you're coming here because I can get you in the league after 1 year, you're coming to the wrong place. Even John Wall, I said, you play and act and go to school like you're staying for at least 2 years. And if you happen to leave after one, fine, which is why he did the schoolwork and did what he was supposed to. He didn't play like I'm out of here in 5 months. And so, but we'll be fine. We have I met the team minus 2 players, so I met 8 guys yesterday. I had them all, we talked, and they were getting ready. They were going to watch the draft before I left to go to New York. And I think we're going to be fine.
So you feel good. If you add nothing else, you feel good about what you got.
Yeah, I mean,
It's
5 first rounders. I mean, how you can as good as you can feel. But I think it'll be fun. We'll probably play more like my Memphis teams played because we'll have Patrick was a 4 playing 3, if you know what I'm saying. Now we're going to have a lot of 2s and 3s and 1s, and they're all drivers. And even though they've got length, our bigs are not DeMarcus Cousins and Daniel Orton big. So it'll be a lot more like my Memphis teams, more of a wide open. We may press more. We could still be really long. I mean, we could end up being almost as long as we've been, which is, kind of wow,
John, do you think we'll see more of the dribble drive this year than we saw last year?
Yeah, we played dribble drive probably, I'm guessing, 35-40% of the time. The other time we just, we were doing things to get guys the ball in certain spots because they were just bigger. But I think what you'll see now is, we may even do more pick and rolls this year. I have to figure guys out. Like this trip we're going to take to Canada is a great time for me to figure out Brandon Knight. Because Brandon is different than John, who's different than Tyreek, who's different than Derek, who's different than, they're all different. And then you're trying to say, okay, how are we playing and what are we going to do with those guys?
You spent a lot of time with Eric, I guess, leading up, spent some time with him. He had a lot dumped on him in the process leading up. How did he handle that? And I mean,
he's a good kid. He's a good kid. I mean, again, he's been through his background, how he's grown up and stuff. To be where he is, it's incredible stuff. I'm happy for him and his family.
Are you all concerned about with that much turnover, a dropout like North Carolina had this year? Even on paper, they had a lot of talent.
They didn't have as many guys leave like we did. They had a couple guys leave. They didn't have 5 guys like that. And you always worry. I mean, the thing that the only concern you have with the rules, the way it is. See, I don't agree with one and done. I think players should be able to go directly to the league, or I think they should have to stay 2 or 3 years in college. That's just how it is. But one and done, what happens if you're having this kind of program and you're preparing kids and they leave? That means you're going to have a young team just about every year. Now the question is, can they win those last 3? You can win along the way, but when it comes down to those last 3 games, as a coaching staff, we got to figure out how we're going to play and what we're going to do to get these kids over the hump, because there's anxiety that goes with it. See, you go to a Final Four and you lose. Next year you go back, your whole mentality is, we're fine, we know this, we're going to go win. But if you've never been there, you're an Elite 8, you're like, oh my gosh, we win this, we can go, and then you go 0 for 20. Can't make a shot. So there's some things that are going on with it, but if you don't have talented enough players, you have no chance of advancing, none. And you're not coaching them up. I mean, you better have good players. But if you have really good young players, that's it's what you play with. So.
What a recruit when you talk to recruits and they're watching in the draft and say 5 guys got. I mean, what's been the?
You had guys texting me. Obviously, I can't text them back, but
right.
I was getting. There were all kind of text messages from those kids just watching your coach cat. So, it's. you know, what you don't want to do is I don't ever try to paint a picture that you do this here, this is what happens for you. I tell them the hardest place you can come and play is with us. Now, it doesn't matter what I say. They're thinking I'm coming there and I'm going to have the same opportunity as this one. And I try to tell them, I mean, one guy will say, can you do for me what you did for Derrick Rose? And I have one come and you're as good as Derrick Rose. You're that good, yeah. I mean, I can do the same, but you got to be that good. And so, and then you don't know how good they are until you get them on campus and start coaching. You got to get them there. Your hope is, but I'll say this, did you think that Bledsoe, Orton, Cousins would leave after a year? No. So when we talk about this year's team, who could leave? I really don't know. Maybe one guy, maybe two. What if 5 leave? Well, that meant what? We played on the last day of the season. We had a heck of a year. Guys came out and played well. And coach, where will I? You know, it's the same thing I went through. What do you think? I think you're in the first round. I think you're right outside the lottery. I think you're a lottery pick. I think you're the number 1 pick. I think you're the number 2 pick. They took him 5, but you know.
What I mean, you coach.
I'm sorry. I was just talk about some of the guys that are coming in and what you've seen in them. As far as I'm not sure if you're allowed to watch their workouts or anything, but
no, I'm
but,
not.
I mean,
They just got on campus, but we have 8 guys on campus. We'll have 9 Sunday, and they'll be in summer school for 6 weeks. Ennis came the first 4 weeks of summer school, did well, and then he'll be back for this 6 week. The other guys are doing either 8-week or 6-week programs, and they'll start playing pickup, which I hate, and that's why it's a waste of time. It's not how we play, you know. So you don't see much and don't see. And I tell them, I said, I want you to only play pickup 3 days a week. The rest of the time, get in the gym and work on an area that you're not good at. You need to get better. And then I try to get them conditioned in weight training and get them